Hey, Randy Barton here for Extreme Faith and Fitness, your Team Beachbody coach. Let me give you my number one tip for, well, your number one tip. Stick around and see what it's for. So this week's coaching moment, I'm going to tell you my number one tip for, well, I really can't say what it's for. As you know, being a Beachbody coach, there's a lot of programs that I know about, I've done, that I like to advise people on, consult people on, and help you get through. You know, there's P90X, P90X2, Insanity, the Asylum series, the Body Beast, Turbo Fire, Turbo Jam, Selene Extreme, 10-Minute Trainer, Brazilian Butt Lift, all of those into this. Well, a lot of those have a common thread that goes through those, which is some sort of kickboxing, martial art, karate, something in it. Let me tell you my number one tip, and it comes from kind of the godfather of home workout things, P90X. P90X, when you start the Kempo, really the first karate move in it after the warm-up is going to be these little twist things with your hips, to where you're just simply throwing your hip into things. And as we go through that, well, the first time I did this disc, when learning it all myself, I thought to myself, well, this is kind of stupid, this is lame, this has nothing to do with karate. Then I realized, oh, Tony Horton must be a genius, because the more I started to do it, the more I found this is something many people lack, and it is the basis, the premise of how to really build your core strength. Because that very same movement, just simply twisting your hips, takes more than just as simple as it appears. A lot of leg work goes into it as well as keeping your shoulders right. And for that reason, learning that move is my number one tip for this part of all of those programs. Nearly every Beachbody program. Learning how to pivot your hips properly. For that reason, I'm going to show you just basic things of how to be able to do this and tell you the importance of why you need to learn this motion. First off, it looks something like this. You've got your front leg slightly bent, the back leg slightly bent, your front foot facing just about forward, your back heel, the back heel of your back foot, the back heel, like you have two, the heel of your back foot in line with the front foot. And when you move forward, it's not just simply, here's what everybody does. I'm hoping you can see my feet in this in the midst of all of my sweat drops from just finishing combat. People keep their feet planted and just twist. That's not the move. My hips really aren't moving nearly as much as just my shoulders. That back foot has got to come up. You've got to come up, which means you've got to transfer your weight to the front foot so you have the weight off the back foot. So learn that. That's the first thing to this. Transfer the weight forward, bending that knee a little bit, and then you'll have an easy way to pivot, all right? That's very important for anything that uses the back hand. Anything using the back hand, your hand, I know this is just used for in these programs as for cardio and for training and strengthening purposes, but if you don't pivot and you just simply move, your back hand's not going hardly at all forward. You want to get it so it reaches. So you're going to reach, not quite a straight line of hand to ankle, but you're going to create that pivot as well as pivoting, you're transferring the weight of your core into the power of your fist, which is going to create a strong movement, strengthening yourself, tightening your core, and making everything stronger all the way through. So this is my number one tip. Get that down. As you transfer your weight forward, you're shifting your power into your fist, and you're able to pivot to get the reach that you need. You're also going to use the same stance, not just on a cross move, but when you go to an uppercut. When you come to an uppercut, notice that foot pivots again to go up. You're going to be crunching and really working on your obliques when you do yourself an uppercut. You're going to tighten your core, and you're going to, again, throw your weight into that, dipping your shoulder down so that you can transfer the force up. That's going to strengthen as your muscles tighten, as your core tightens, and it's going to give you the proper positioning to really make your movements count. So that's going to be incredibly important. If you're not doing P90X, just take a little time to just practice that movement of just simply transferring your weight forward, pivoting on your back foot. I know this sounds simple, but it is my number one tip for learning this for all of the different programs that I cited earlier that have some element of kickboxing, martial arts, something in it that's going to need that transfer. It's going to strengthen your core in all powerful movements at the end of your limbs, whether it's hands or feet, all trace back to the strength of the core. You can have strong arms and legs, but if you don't have a strong core, it's meaning nothing. So work on that. Work on just simply that number one tip of keeping it tight. When you pivot around, tuck your hips or your pelvis slightly forward, tighten your core, put your hands on it, even feel it. Is my core tight? It's not just simply flopping around. You got to keep yourself into this. Moving your hips and your shoulders will then move automatically. That's my number one tip for getting these moves right. This is Randy Barton for Randy Barton, your Beachbody coach with Extreme Faith and Fitness, Team Beachbody. See you next week.